Coming up in today's episode of Inspire to Inspire.
A lot of people were working from home, working from cafes, and I think especially in the creative sector, that sort of really brought some light bulbs on about how people can just work.
Being out of the office doesn't mean that you are out of being productive.
One of the best pieces of advice I was ever given with my online business, you only need one funnel. You need one offer, no more. I don't believe there is a work-life balance anymore. So we have to learn what our own balances are for work and life.
Mr. M. Dongo.
Mr. Dongo.
Wonderful time working with Mr. G.
Mr. M. Dongo, and he is a 10x person.
I love your energy.
He just go like boom, 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 boom. It's amazing.
I always love the way this man carries himself with dignity and respect.
Living the lifestyle of your dream can be possible to anybody, and this is available to everybody who actually want it. Okay, and I'm not just saying this because I'm trying to inspire you. Maybe like, oh, okay, there he goes again, Mr. D, with his inspiration or whatever. No, that is not the case in terms of today's episode, because today, I have somebody who is living the dream lifestyle through the online businesses, through doing what she loves. And you'll be unpacking some of her story and some of the things that she is going to actually share. And welcome to Inspire Show, a place that you come here each and every week to come and learn on how to monetize your story, your skills, and your experience. And in today's episode, buckle up, because I have the amazing Kate, who is going to be sharing with us some amazing things, because I've known her for almost, I don't know how many years now, online, and then in person we actually met twice. So Katie, welcome. Thank you so much, Kate.
Thank you for having me. What an exciting introduction. Everyone's on the edge of their seats now waiting to hear.
Yeah, no,
Cool to be here.
I really love that. And thank you for saying, yes, Munya, let's go and actually serve. Because I know you as an online business owner, as the founder of Out of Office company, and also as a Kajabi expert, you are busy. You have got like your life. And yeah, there's quite a lot that's actually happening in your life as well. Yeah. And you decided to say, yes, Munya, let's do this. And I'm so grateful for that. Thank you so much for saying yes to that.
You're so welcome. Thank you for having me.
Great. So, quick question before we go any further. Why do you hate offices so much? Like, why are you an out of office coach? Like, why do you hate offices so much? What did they do to you?
Great question. I don't think I hate offices. I just prefer not to work in a four-wall cubicle. Spend majority of my life sitting in a cubicle at a desk. I don't believe that's what we came here to do. But it was a big part of how my business started. I was working in corporate and government, sitting in these cubicles,
Yeah.
big open plan offices, a lot of meetings about meetings. And I just had one of these moments that was like, why? What is this what we are here to do? Like, what is my purpose here? I was in a particularly purposeless job at the time.
Mhm.
And, just felt like I was, just sitting on a seat to make up numbers. And I just wanted something more. I also just wanted a lot more lifestyle freedom as well. So that is where my journey has taken me now with the business Out of Office. Also coming from New Zealand, hence my funny accent.
Yeah.
We experienced around the same time that I started my business, we experienced some major events in New Zealand that took, like earthquakes, that actually took a lot of people out of their offices. They couldn't work in their offices because the buildings were closed down. So a lot of people were working from home, working from cafes, and that's around the time that co-working began as well. So people going into co-working spaces, working amongst others. And I think especially in the creative sector, that sort of really brought some light bulbs on about how people can just work from wherever they choose to, and actually be far more productive than going into an office 8 hours a day and, taking a lunch break and standing around the cooler chatting to their mates and just having meetings about meetings without progressing anything. So yeah, that's long story short, how I got myself out of the office.
Being out of the office doesn't mean that you are out of being productive. Like sometimes I found myself being super productive when I'm out of my home office, when I go and work at the pool, when I go
That's it.
and work from Starbucks, I get to be
Exactly.
very much productive when I'm at. So yeah, well, because I just wanted to get this elephant out of this room.
And then the business name Out of Office
Yeah.
actually stems from that. So my flatmate and I at the time were driving into the city to work every morning, talking about how we hated our jobs and we didn't want to do this anymore and what else could we do? And kind of in a jokingly way, we were like, we love coffee, let's start a coffee shop and let's call it Out of Office, and people can come in if they want, they can work, otherwise they can just drink coffee. But then we decided that we didn't want to have to get up so early to go make coffee for people.
Yeah.
Hospitality is. Yeah, so the name Out of Office was invented, but I hadn't stuck it to anything yet, any business yet. Yeah, that came later down the track. But yeah, absolutely. Like I find myself creative, or if I'm in a creative rut, I will stand up from my home office also and go to a cafe or even a co-working space to be surrounded by other people or in the right environment to just change that mindset and get on with one of the tasks at hand. Yeah.
Lovely. And as you know, this program, it's called Inspire to Inspire Show. So there is one line on your website that really stuck in my mind. The moment that I literally went there, and you did very well that you actually put it in big letters as well, in a very big font. Okay. And a proof that absolutely anyone can learn to have the lifestyle they dream of. What does this statement mean to you? Because right now, in I can say uncertain times right now, both politically, economically, there is just a lot happening right now, and the economy have actually changed, like globally. Okay, like this living the life of your dream, the lifestyle of your dream, the whatever of your dream, it's now a far-fetched thing for so many other people. What does this mean to you, and how can you tell somebody this same statement and make them believe that yes, this is truly possible?
Yeah, and you just said the word there that sticks is belief.
Yeah.
For me, I didn't believe this originally. When I started to do the work to figure out what I wanted to do rather than sit in an office cubicle, I started doing some personal development and I worked with a life coach. And we came to the conclusion that I don't like winter in New Zealand, and it's not good for me. It's not good for my mental health. It's not good for my physical health, my joints and everything. And so we needed to figure out a way that I didn't have to be in New Zealand for winter. She believed in me. She was like, why is it not possible for you not to be in New Zealand during winter? And so there was a whole mindset journey. And that's what I can say about anyone that doesn't believe. It's starting to do the work to believe. The other thing is the lifestyle of your dreams. Some would say from the outside looking in, I have the lifestyle of my dreams, but I think it's an ever evolving thing. So what can you do right now to make, I call it life by design. What can you do right now in your day, like each and every day, to start moving towards that big dream? And yes, we're in political and economical turmoil, some might say, but day to day, you can control how your day looks. You can you can choose to turn things off as well on the news and things, and just adding little things into your day that it moves you towards your life by design. Because like I said, from the outside looking in, and that picture on the front of my website, at the top of my website, you could not have paid me money to tell me 10 years ago that I would have my own website with a photo of me in my swimsuit on the top. Like, no way. But that's a real photo that my friend took on one of my winters away. And the work that it's taken to get there, and even every day now, still the work involved to remind myself that I can have the lifestyle that I choose.
Wow. So, so would you then say that the lifestyle of your dream is the life that you choose to live by each and every day? You may have no car, no money, but you can still choose to make that, to literally enjoy that same day, so that you are able to move forward and dream bigger and dream bigger and dream. Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah. And that's why it's so important, especially as business owners, it's so important for us to celebrate our small wins because that tells the universe this was a win. We're moving forward and we're winning, keeps on that positive spin rather than the negative, oh, this is what it looks like out there at the moment. It's dull and grey and nothing's happening. And yeah, the small wins so important, more important than the big wins, I think.
Wow.
To keep you moving forward. And because it evolves, your business, your life by design, the lifestyle you desire, it evolves over time. Mine is different now to what it was 5 years ago, so. And that's the nice thing about it.
That I love that because last week, I mean, on our previous episode in here, I did another episode on how to make your very first sale, and that very first statement that I said was like, the first sale can be used as your fuel, so it is actually gonna fuel you to go and move forward. So if we don't see these small wins that we currently have right now, while you're just looking for that big win that is over there, like okay, that's the goal. That it is okay to know where you are going, but also celebrate each and every mile that you actually pass and be like, woohoo! If it was 10-hour drive, now it's now 8 hours. Woohoo! You celebrate that because that is really gonna help you and fuel you to go forward to that final goal.
Yeah. The other thing I will say too is that your big dream, of course, is important because that's your North Star that you're heading towards. But sometimes that can look different when you get there.
Oh, yeah.
Sometimes it's better, right? And I've had that experience myself. I've found myself suddenly like, wow, this is actually where I was heading and now I'm here. And this is not what I thought it would look like, but it's actually better because it's leading to the next thing that I want to be doing. Yeah.
I love that. Yeah. Well, and also if you forget, to celebrate some of these things, that might make you feel unworthy of the bigger dream, even when you're actually there. When you finally have it, you'll be like, well, what did I waste my time chasing this thing? And right now I don't even enjoy it. Wow. No, I love that.
Yeah. And I explain that often to my clients or people that I'm speaking with about, like, for some people, the big dream is money. Like, it's a big amount of money.
Yeah.
But if you don't know what you're going to do with that money when you get there, you don't know how to handle that money, you are not in the right mindset to, live with that money, then that could all go to waste and you start again. And I use the example with time as well, because a lot of people come into business because they want freedom, which means more time, more money. If you had more time, what are you going to do with it? Because if you haven't dreamed and worked towards what you're doing with that time, you could end up with that time. You could end up with lots of money and therefore some time. But if you are wasting that, like you say, you'll be down in the dumps and be like, what do I do now? What am I worth? I feel like I'm just procrastinating and not making the most of it and don't feel worthy. Exactly.
Wow. I love that, Kate. I love that. So entrepreneurship is a journey, right? We know that it is a journey and it's ups, it's down, it's speed humps and everything else, right? And with out of office, like you also advocate about work-life balance, right? So so how does work-life balance 2025 with this up and down that we are having? Trying to hit that goal, it may be your small goal or the bigger goal. You are so focused on that. So how does that really work? How can somebody really enjoy this entrepreneurship journey? Because as much as it is a journey, you still need to actually balance yourself and enjoy the ride. Yeah. So how do you do that for yourself?
Yeah, I literally just came from a networking coffee, and this was the topic that we spoke about.
I love it.
So I call it the entrepreneur roller coaster that we're all on. And in a statement would say, I don't believe there is a work-life balance anymore. But because it's never been easier for us to work online. It's never been easier for us to start a business, but that means it's never been harder for us to switch off as well. It's always there at our fingertips, right? So we have to learn what our own balances are for work and life together. Something we discussed this morning was how an entrepreneur can take a holiday without having to work. And it came down to individual preferences and boundaries, and not just boundary setting for your clients, but boundary setting for yourself, like implementing those boundaries yourself. So if you go on, some people said they would go away for 10 days on holiday and they would have to check their emails because otherwise they can't enjoy their holiday because they're anxious.
Yeah.
They just need to know what's going on. And that's fair. Others, they they just want to switch completely off, don't even take their laptop with them. They're okay to come at the end and scramble. So I think it's just finding out what your best level is to keep the anxiety at bay, to keep the negatives away. And it's your own journey in life. That's a nice thing about what we do as entrepreneurs, is that you get to create it your way and how you want to do it. You know, if you have children and you have other commitments in your life, then it needs to work around that as well. So in short, I think there's no work-life balance, but we have to learn how to manage. And I think it comes back to celebrating those wins.
Yes.
One thing you can do every day that helps you with that balance. You know, can you celebrate that you set a boundary and you stuck to it today? That you closed your laptop at 4:00, like you said you were going to, and went and spent some time with your children. It's just implementing those and getting some habits in place. Yeah, I will say when I first started my business in the first few years, I wanted to rebel. You know, I was like, I don't work 8-hour days. I don't work from 9 till 5. I work whenever I want. And you know what? I ended up working all the time because I worked weekends. I worked always because I worked nights, you know, and I've actually come back to the realization that I need to work 9 to 5. I only work 4 days a week usually, but it's still flexible, you know. So this morning I could go to this coffee meetup and come back and do this podcast with you. You know, it's flexible, and that's my business freedom now.
Wow.
Yeah, I can go to a doctor's appointment when I need to. If it's a sunny day, go to the beach. You know, I can just choose to do that.
Wow. Yeah, because, you know, I realized the other time, and that was really, really painful on my side, that, you know what, I've been working so hard, and you would not, separate Munya and the business. Okay. And I didn't care who you are, you know, like, as long as you were not part of the business, you could be sitting right here next to me and I would not hear you, or I would not even see you because I was so much consumed. Then when I hired my team, I was like, now they're doing all these other things.
Yeah.
What am I doing? You know?
Yeah, freed up your time.
Yeah, what am I doing? Even though first time that I actually hired them, you know what? I was still doing everything and still get angry at them that they are not doing anything, because I was still taking all the work again and actually do it myself. And that was not really healthy. That was literally not really healthy. And only now when I realized that, well, for me to effectively run this business, or for me to effectively give value to my team, a value to my clients, I must be okay, both mentally, physically, and everything else. So I need to find that, what does that balance mean to me? I love that. Yeah, I really, really love that. Oh, okay.
Yeah, such a mental game.
Yeah.
I think some of the people I spoke to this morning were like, oh, I couldn't go on 10 days holiday. What would my clients do? So you tell your clients you're going on 10 days holiday, and then they will be like, have a great holiday. But in your mind, you'll be like, oh my God, I'm not there for them. Like, yeah, like life goes on outside of your business. We forget that because we're so in it. Yeah. So down in the weeds. Yeah.
The other day, one of my clients ended up saying, Munia, please, you need to go to holiday. It's holiday, for goodness sake. I'm only gonna talk to you second week, because I was like, so I am doing this, and then guess what? I'll be just updating stuff that I was doing, and this was like this past year. I was kind of like, if I just get bored on my, and then I'll just go on my laptop. I'm now working because my team is actually on holiday. I'm the one who is like the business, so I can do everything. So I would just go there, work, and then he literally said, Munya, please go on holiday. Please,
Yeah.
This is a holiday. Take time off. Let's not work on this. Don't even check on the ads. If you can switch them off, or whatever, but don't even look at them. Let's talk about this second week of January. I was like, that was good. I needed that.
Everybody is looking for that secret formula to boost their business. Guess what? We have it. Welcome to the Kickstart Coaching Program. For just $3,997, you get 90 days of expert guidance to start, scale, or restructure your business like a pro. Coaches, authors, trainers, and online entrepreneurs, this is your chance to shine. With our program, you'll discover powerful strategies, tailored advice, and the support you need to thrive. Imagine transforming your passion into profit. Imagine turning your dreams into reality. Join the Kickstart Coaching Program now and unlock your business potential. Ready to make a change? Let's do this together. Sign up today. Your future is waiting. Don't keep it waiting any longer.
I needed that. But anyway, let's talk about being overwhelmed. Okay. As an online business owner, right? There is idea overwhelming. And I talk more about this, especially in my program, the idea to your income, where you see that you have got 100 ideas that are just flowing. When you are starting to work on this one comes, and then you think that, oh my goodness, I think this one is more lucrative than this one. And then there's also system overwhelm as well.
Mhm.
You have no idea what is the best system that's gonna work for me. You follow Munya and Katie. They are saying, oh, you know what? Kajabi is the way to go. You do this, and then you hear ClickFunnels is the way to go. You hear this. This is the way to go. This is the way to go. So, can you help me here deal with this overwhelm? How can how can a startup entrepreneur, or you're somebody who is trying to do good online, overcome the overwhelm on both either ideas or your technological side?
Yeah, I think it's really hard especially when you're first starting out, if you're just starting to build your online business, because there is a lot of noise out there. And I call them shiny objects. So in front of you that you don't need.
Yeah.
And, hopefully you can listen to one person that you trust and know that is telling you to keep it simple. Like, you don't need everything to start, and you can implement things. You can grow things as you go. You can scale it as you go. I think one of the best pieces of advice I was ever given with my online business, not that I stuck to it, but I've definitely come back to it again, is you only need one funnel. You need one offer, no more. I was creating all these lead magnets and fun things because I'm a creative. It's like, but that's like watering down everything, because now you're known for this one thing. So I think that's my biggest piece of advice, is keeping it simple and trying to distract yourself, trying to keep your blinkers on and stick to what it is that you need to do to serve your people. Yeah, I think of online platforms like Kajabi or wherever. Think of how you're serving your business. I always try to get my clients to think of themselves as if they were a bricks and mortar shop, like a shop out on the street. So what does that look like for the person that's walking past? What does that look like for the person that's coming in to visit you, and find out what you're about? What does that look like for somebody that wants to book with you? So if you're an old business, a shop on the street, on the high street, now let's turn that into what that looks like online. So what is the minimum? What is the minimum that we need to replicate that and make sure we're serving people throughout? I think that example often will help a lot of people that haven't had a lot to do with online digital products as well, because they can think about it. They can think, oh yeah, when I go to my doctor's surgery, I park in the car park and I go up to the front desk and I book my appointment, and then I sit in the waiting room and then I go through to the doctor. So now what does that look like in an online version? Because it's the same. Business is business. Like,
it's the same. Yes.
Online, so we can't physically see it. We can't all the time. So yeah, just keeping things simple. It doesn't have to be expensive to get started.
Yeah,
you don't have to have all the bells and whistles. I have a podcast, a YouTube channel. I don't have a camera. I don't have. I have a new microphone now because Kajabi gifted me one, but I didn't have a microphone for a long time. I just was using my headphones with the microphone on it, or like this, speaking to I don't need all of that fancy stuff to deliver the value that my customers need.
Yeah.
And I think when you think about Kajabi, online course platform, to deliver your first online course, you don't have to have the most high-tech, most expensive equipment to film your first course. Some people will just do an audio course or a PDF. It's thinking about your customers. How do they want to get that value?
Yeah.
They care about what you've got to teach.
Yeah.
They don't care what you're wearing, what your makeup looks like, how big your microphone is, what kind of camera you have. They don't care, as long as you can deliver your value in the most efficient, effective way, especially when you're starting out.
Wow. As I was still starting out, I know that my website was like a shopping mall. Okay?
Yeah.
You had everything and everything. Okay? And it was really overwhelmed. Like, to just send somebody to my website to say, yeah, just go and buy. Oh my goodness. They'll be like, okay, so where do I start here? And then and as much as I was making money, we managed to actually make our first 100K with all that. What I'm trying to say is that you not have figure it out first, it doesn't mean that you're not going to make money. You're still going to make money, but the only problem is when you become comfortable with all that messiness that is there and decide to just stay there. I would say evolve as you go. But right now, I only have got 2 main offers that I'm now offering on my main website. And I am loving it. Everything else, I still offer it back either at the back end, but at least now I know what is it that I am doing. And my team, oh my goodness, they are no longer confused as well, because every little day I would come up with some other ideas, great ideas, and just bomb it on them and say, guys, make it visual, make it work. We need to make this thing work. But then it would then confuse both the clients and yourself and the team, and confuse somebody who is not going anywhere. Wow.
Absolutely. Yeah. I think too, with these systems like, Kajabi, the all-in-one platform, the more that you create, the more that you have to offer, the more, these systems will help you for sure, but you still have to do the work, that's not passive. It's not residual, you still have to do the work to create the content, to put it all there. And while there's automations and things that are helping you out in the background, lovely, you still need to make updates. You still need to check your analytics and your stats and know what's happening in your business. You can't just walk away from it, set it up and walk away. Yeah. So you still have to do the work. So having an all-in-one platform like Kajabi or anything else will help you do the heavy lifting, but you're still one person in there doing it. Yeah.
That. And so how did you discover your skills, and how did you discover that, well, I can monetize this while you are also preventing this overwhelm that is there? Like, how did you do that?
Yeah, my business has evolved. So when Out of Office started, it was more like just like a lifestyle holiday kind of business. And then I got into I discovered a need in the market. So I was working a lot with network marketers in the travel industry. So there was a particular network marketing group that was in travel. A lot of the people didn't know how to market themselves online on social media without spamming the world, signing, contacting their aunties and everybody. And so I found a niche need in the market, a gap in the market there. And I started to help people with social media. Some people didn't know how to do real basic things on social media. And I started to help them. I started to create some kind of like formula for people to follow that was really easy and simple. So that's where my business my online business started. And I guess that was when I found the love for helping people and showing people how to do things online. My version of my business now really kicked off during the first lockdown of the pandemic, where people needed to come online. So helping yoga teachers and healing practitioners and all sorts of people to get started online. And that's where I started with Kajabi. But I think the way that I help people step by step to understand and then help them also to outsource what they're not skilled in, what they're not efficient in as well. I'm a big believer in people learning for themselves, but where you could bring in an ad expert. You don't need to learn how to do ads if you can bring in an ad expert. It's just so much more efficient for you. So just helping people understand that balance as well of, what they can do, how they can do it, how they maintain it. Yeah, automation, delegation, my 2 big things that I speak to people about.
Wow.
Yeah, and how they can ultimately, my business name, get themselves more time to get out of office.
Wow. And, you said something, and that's where my career started as well, as a network marketer. Yeah. So I also started as a network marketer, but I was just doing network marketing. I was doing that online mostly. I was finding clients online, and people, they were like, Munya, how are you doing that? How are you doing that? And then it then becomes so overwhelming. I started training, then boom, to the day I am here now. That is so good. So are you saying that look in yourself, find out what you can do, and then look in the world and find the problem or the need that you can solve? Because
exactly,
I believe with 8 billion people on planet comes with 8 billion problems that anyone can be like that somebody is looking for somebody to actually solve that problem and heal that pain. Wow.
Yeah. And sometimes it's just the most, you might have to do the inner work on yourself to figure out that you are, I guess, worthy, or, you can lead and you can help people. And I believe network marketing is actually just a giant personal development program in disguise.
I call
You
that
know,
the life
I
you.
didn't have a lot of success, but that's what introduced me to personal development for sure, and led me on this journey now. But yeah, looking within, and sometimes it's the randomest things that you might be able to help
Yeah.
people with. But the more niche or niche you say you can be, the better. I often joke now when I'm speaking amongst my clients and my community. My friends tell me when we go away or when I'm cooking for them, I make the best poached eggs ever. So when we go away, they're like, poached eggs for breakfast, Kate's cooking. So we joke that I could make an online course about how to poach an egg, because
Oh, yeah.
that is my specialty. And it's something that a lot of people want to know how to do
Mhm.
because a lot of people can't do it, but it's so random. I'm not sure about creating a whole business around it, but it's an online course.
Hey, Kate, I have seen some weird niches.
Yeah, right? Yeah.
Oh my goodness. Like, I have seen some very weird niches. I was like, so do people really pay to come for this? But like, yeah. And when I help that client, you see them like making $15,000 on their first launch. I'm like, what on earth? Am I in a wrong industry? Like, what's
It's
happening here?
it's what I love about what I do with Kajabi. Like, you just get to see
Yeah.
so many different. And my friends say to me, "You must learn so much from all your clients' content." I'm like, God, I don't have enough hours in the day to learn all of that. Like, amazing. Yeah, I have free
Yeah.
access
Yeah.
to my
Yeah.
clients' content, but some of it's not of interest to me. But some of it, wow. I love telling this story. I have a past client. We don't work together anymore, but she's based here in New Zealand. Yeah, she has had so much success on her Kajabi site, and she teaches people. I don't even know if this is a thing outside New Zealand. I'm sure it is, but flax. Do you know what flax is? It's like these big grass bushes, big thick pieces of grass.
Oh, okay.
And she teaches people how to. It's actually part of a traditional indigenous process of cutting it, and then how to dye it different colors, and then how to create floral arrangements, like creating flowers by folding and weaving it, creating floral arrangements. And she has a giant business based on
Wow.
that.
Wow.
Yeah, yeah. So it's just so many niches. If you think you can't teach it, you can. You can.
Yeah, well, because I tell people, like, for example, in my idea to the income, like, I tell people, especially on the very first emoji, that are you a human being? If you are a human being, it shows that you have passed it through some challenges in your life. It may be you managed to pay rent, or you managed to do something, you managed to find a job, you managed, like you travel to another country for the first time, you raise the kids, you have got teens.
Yeah.
Do you know how many people, like how many first-time parents who wish there was a school teaching people how to you be parents, and you don't need that degree or your diploma, because your life is that degree, it is that
Yeah.
diploma. Because what I
The
went through,
experience.
like, we all went through COVID, but well, you and me literally came out of COVID on top because of our businesses. So, and there's another person out there who is not sure of, if another pandemic come, how am I gonna survive? How am I gonna do it? So, as long as you are a human being, you do have a story, and there is no one who can tell me that they don't have any skill, and there's nobody who can tell me that they didn't experience anything. So those three things can help you to start your online business. It doesn't matter who you are, and also where you are from, but there will be some other challenges as you are building this business.
Have you ever thought of turning your ideas into a profitable online business? Welcome to the Idea to Great Income 7-Day Challenge, where you'll gain the knowledge and skills to create an online course that sells like hot cupcakes. In this week-long intensive challenge, the goal is to equip you with everything you need to turn your ideas into a lucrative online business. It may seem like a daunting task, but with the right guidance and a step-by-step approach, it becomes a journey of discovery and growth. Over the course of 7 days, you'll uncover the secret to creating ideas that sell in the online market. This is not just about coming up with ideas, but about creating ideas that are marketable, ideas that meet a need, solve a problem, or offer a unique perspective. So are you ready to transform your knowledge into profitable online courses? Join now for the Idea to Income 7-Day Challenge. It's time to turn your ideas into great income.
So, okay, to talk to me, what are some of the challenges that you were not prepared, that nobody prepared you to actually go through, and you had to find yourself overcoming some of those challenges?
Yeah. I think a lot of it is mindset. So imposter syndrome, sometimes looking at other people that are doing what you're doing or similar to what you are doing and having imposter syndrome, comparing that. And that disguises itself in other ways like procrastination and not showing up. I think it's it can be a really lonely journey, especially if you're doing it by yourself, you're working from home, and maybe you're not surrounded by people that understand what it is that you're trying to do or trying to achieve, like your family. Even sometimes it's the people closest to you that won't understand, and that can be really hard when you have a big dream and you there's people that you can serve.
But how can you deal with that though? The
Yeah.
loneliness of the journey, because really this is a very lonely journey to an extent that sometimes, as much as I may be alone and I am not making money, I'll pretend as if I am making billions of dollars. And when kids say, Munya, how are you? I'll be like, oh my goodness, I am killing it. Yet I have nothing, I am dying inside. How can one person overcome either the loneliness of the journey or the overwhelm of you trying to be like this other different person that you are not?
Yeah, I think finding the people that you can surround yourself with, it's obviously online. We have such a community online as how you and I have met each other. I've just come from a coffee networking group in the city here where this is what we spoke about. What are your struggles this week? What have been your wins in the past month? Being vulnerable is really hard. But if you can, you'll get the support. You'll find the people that can support and be on that journey with you. Having an accountability buddy or having a coaching group or a mastermind group that you can put yourself into. For me, I've had a business coach for the last 5 years. And I can tell you right now, she is far more than a business coach. She gets to hear everything from me, ups and downs. And she knows more than anyone, about myself and my business journey. Yeah. So having someone or some people that you can talk with and that you can listen to as well, because you very quickly hear that everyone has the same things going on. Yeah.
Yeah. Wow. I love that, Kate. I love that. So just to you wrap up here, right? I just want to talk a little bit about some of the services that you actually offer, right? So what are some of the services that you offer? And also, do you have like some freebies?
Yeah, cool. So I help support business owners in any form to create and launch their digital products. So I offer consulting, so to help you and your team to do that. And then I offer some done-for-you services as well. The done-for-you services, obviously, on Kajabi, because that is my platform of choice. So digital products being online courses, communities, podcasts, coaching programs, things like that. The emphasis I put there on teams, because I think a lot of solopreneurs eventually will have an administrator or a virtual assistant working with them. And often it's that person that actually needs to know the system as well. So I like to include them in all my teachings as well. And I have a community that I host of my clients as well, so they can all be together to have those conversations like we were just talking about, as well as continue to develop and learn and train with me. Anyone can jump on my website. Now I'm going to say I have a couple of different freebies, even though I said earlier we should only have one, but I've developed these over time based on needs, So I have Kajabi checklists that anyone who has Kajabi or is thinking of having Kajabi about to get started, it's a checklist to help get you started on Kajabi with just all the basics that you need to set up to get started. And then I also have an automation guide. So that tells you the top 5 automations you should have in your business, regardless of what kind of business you have, whether you're on Kajabi or not. The top 5 automations that will give you back at least 5 hours in your week. And that is getting that time to spend out of office, developing, however you want to spend it.
Wow.
That guide will step you through what I believe to be the top 5 automations every business should have.
Wow. And if you are wondering where are you going to get this, well, you can actually scan the QR code that is popping on your screen right now. And also, you may also check in the description or your show notes for the direct links that are going to take you to nzoutofoffice.com. My goodness. So, Kate, what are some of your, the last words that you could actually give our listener right now? Like, what is it that you can be like, okay, this is your last dose for this episode?
Yeah, I think get yourself surrounded by the right people with the right support to hit your life by design.
Wow. You need to surround yourself? Well, as they say, like I used to call it networking for success. It is very, very important because if it was not people that way in my life, I wouldn't be who I am to today, and I wouldn't be where I am right now. And I'm so grateful to you as well, Kate, and many more other people out there that I have been learning from each and every day. And right now we are here and looking forward to meet you again in LA. End of
Oh, I hope so.
yeah, yeah. Looking forward to
Can't wait to hear. I need to book some flights.
yeah, well, we're just waiting for some dates, Yeah, we're just waiting for dates. But Kate, thank you so much. Please note, I would like you to actually, to check on the show notes for you to download the free offers to Kate, and also I'm gonna link as well a direct link to her social media where you are able to follow her on Instagram. And remember, if you haven't subscribed to this channel, please do subscribe, share, comment. I love and I am enjoying all of your comments that are coming because they actually help us to keep us going as well. And if you haven't done that, please do download our BNC Moibi app where you are able to also get access to my free course that is there. The 3 things to monetize, or you can also scan this QR code that is here for you to download as well. So do that right away and also grow. And remember, we are here to be inspired to inspire. So go well, and don't forget that you were brought to this earth with a mission and a message that you are supposed to share with other people and help them to be inspired so that they can go and also inspire other people. Thank you so much. And thank you so much, Kate, for showing up. And thank you so much for giving so much value to us as well. Thank you so much. I really, really appreciate it. Bye-bye, everyone.
Thanks, Punya. Bye.
Bye, everyone.
Mr. M. Dongo.
Mr. Dongo.
Wonderful time working with Mr. G.
Mr. M. Dongo, and he is a 10x person.
I love your energy.
He just go like boom, 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 boom. It's amazing.
I always love the way this man carries himself with dignity and respect.